My name is Whitney Williams, the media source that reported the ethical dilemma, where I read from the Washington Post, which is one of the many news sources that talked about this case. Basically, a man collapsed with a "Do Not Resuscitate" tattooed on his chest. Doctors didn't know what to do. As a description, on the streets of Miami, Florida, a 70-year-old man, basically unresponsive at that, was taken to Jackson Memorial Hospital. Doctors became baffled when they saw that he had "Do Not Resuscitate" tattooed on his chest, along with his signature, which is grayed out in the picture/video. The team was so confused because they wanted to do all that they could if there was a small chance of saving this man's life. As Dr. Holt stated, "We had a man I couldn't talk to, and I really wanted to talk to him to see whether that tattoo truly reflected what he wanted for his end-of-life wishes." The ethics team was called in, and the team wanted for the doctors to honor the tattoo. And later, the social worker that was put on the case investigated to find out that his identity, where he lived, and that he in fact signed an actual "Do Not Resuscitate" yellow consent form. The next day, the man passed away with his wishes granted. The dilemma impacts the patient because he is unresponsive. He cannot physically consent to whether he wants the doctor to resuscitate him or not, although he has a tattoo that states it on his chest. The doctors and the team are impacted as well because they are very confused by the tattoo on his chest, because the doctor wants to do all that he can to help save this man's life. But the tattoo in place created a barrier. Just like in Shakespeare, to be or not to be, that is the question. In the patient's case, should he be saved or should he not? The social worker that was put on the case could potentially be impacted because now the social worker has to jump through loops to figure out who this man is, because his identity was never identified, and to see if the man consented to the yellow "Do Not Resuscitate" form. I found that there were two key challenges within this dilemma. Number one, whether to go against his wishes regardless of the tattoo and save his life, or treat the tattoo as his yellow form and let the man go in peace. The second key challenge within this dilemma is the work that the social worker has to do as far as investigating to find out if the man's identity and to locate whether he signed the yellow "Do Not Resuscitate" consent form. Along with finding the actual consent form that he signed later, do you think the doctors would have went against his wishes if the yellow consent form was not found? Or would have they just used the tattoo as a guaranteed consent to grant his wish? Please explain. Number two, in the coming years, would it be an ethical decision for everyone to get their "Do Not Resuscitate" tattoo, or a database created to replace the yellow consent form? So that is my my media presentation, and thank you.